Konnichiwa, welcome back to the Geisha of Gore. This video, I'm going to be discussing a fairly new film from 2022 called New Religion. It's written and directed by Keiichi Kondo, and this is his debut film, his debut feature-length film. It's just been released this month, March, to DVD, Blu-ray, and home streaming services by Third Window Films. Shout out Third Window. They do a beautiful job of taking lesser known genre films from Japan. Horror, comedy, sci-fi, but always lesser known, not, major market, and release them for public consumption. And you can tell they love what they do because just everything they put out, it's beautiful. It's done the highest level of professionalism that you would expect. Check them out. They're excellent, excellent. I have seen quite a few of the films that they have put out. I had written about them in the past, and now I get to do a video review about one of their films. So, as I said, this film it's the debut feature for Keiichi Kondo. It's from 2022. It's kind of like a horror drama mystery woven into one. Kind of reminiscent of the new wave Japanese horror from late 90s into the early 2000s. That whole decade or so. Atmosphere, ambiguity, things like that. It's not, you're not going to go, oh, he's, copied that type. No, it's still fresh and new and looks great. It's a brief synopsis. It's about a young woman named Miyabi, played by Kahu Sato, who lost her child in a horrific accident inside their apartment. 3 years later, she's divorced her husband. She's living with a boyfriend, and she's a call girl. Still living in the same apartment. She has a friend, Akari, who she, was starting to display kind of disturbing behavior a little bit. You could, there were scars from self-harm. She mentally, she had issues. Akari disappears one day and then is seen on a stabbing spree, just stabbing, killing people on the street. No rhyme or reason. And then she's also briefly considered as suspect in a bombing that took place at a local museum in the city. Anyway, Miyabi ends up taking on Akari's client, Oka, played by Satoshi Oka. I believe this is his first film. All he wants from Miyabi is to take photographs of body parts. Like the first one is, can I take photos of your spine? So he takes photos of her spine, and then, subsequent visits, it's her arms, her hands, her legs, her feet, even like the back of her head, her hair. But because of the line of work she's in, can't photograph her face. As these photo sessions progress, Miyabi starts to feel her daughter in the apartment, as though her daughter were coming back. So she's now got this, I guess, tie to her daughter. So there's a supernatural element to this. We see in a conversation between Miyabi and a boyfriend that she blames herself for her daughter's death. She just lives with constant grief and guilt, and explains to him as she just is completely empty inside. But this feels almost like a new beginning for her with her daughter, but she starts to get a little weirded out by it. Now, Oka is somewhat of a lepidopterist, where he talks about the moths in general, and that moths are envious of humans with a history and want to destroy them. Can't understand them. That's a weird little combo that's going on. The driver for Miyabi gets suspicious. He's suspicious of what happened to Akari. He's worried about Miyabi now, that it's the same client that Miyabi's seeing before Akari had disappeared and gone off the deep end. So Aizawa, her driver, played by Daiki Nunami, actually gets into Oka's apartment at one point. And we see that it's not just Miyabi that he did this with, or Akari. There's like a closet full of just stacks of photographs with a person's name on the Polaroids. So the person wrote their name on, that bottom white strip of the Polaroid. And it's just tons of them, just dozens of them stacked everywhere. Very briefly, we see the name of someone morph into something unreadable, and then Oka catches Aizawa. You don't hear from him again for the rest of the film, but that doesn't mean he's gone anywhere. There's a hint of body horror, a little bit of body horror in certain sequences where you see these cells like transforming from moth to human to moth, possibly. It's ambiguous. It can be confusing. I guarantee you one thing: you never know what's gonna happen next. This is not a film that you can say, "Oh, I knew it," or "Oh, I saw this coming." It's not. It's not. So, but if that's not your thing, if you like a film that's nice and tightly wrapped up, at the end, this is not for you. It's weird. The film kind of goes into various stages where sometimes it seems like you have dreams within a dreams, dreams within nightmares, perhaps. Miyabi, however, starts to become aware of something being off and confronts Oka. So, there's that. But even that, you don't realize what's going to be happening. There's a lot of this film, like I said, it deals with grief and loss and guilt. If it's true what Oka is saying about the moths, then of course there's envy and there's, rage on their part. His part, perhaps? Is he a moth turned human? To try to understand them or to get revenge, so to speak? It deals with, it's transformation, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, whatever it is. Ultimately, it kind of showcases the collapse of society due to urban isolation. Everybody lives in these block towers and their little apartments and back and forth, and nobody knows anyone. Nobody really deals with anyone. They're all living in their own little isolated worlds. And that's what makes the film sad. Kaho Seto plays Miyabi just so well. You could tell how hurt she is. how vulnerable she is as a person, how hard losing her daughter, you know, really hit her, and the toll that it's taken on her. She's, as far as I'm concerned, she was cast perfectly in the role. She really brings that across. You'll never get the end. I mean, like, you will not see that coming. The disc, Blu-ray, DVD also includes a short that Kondo did called New Mirrors, that he says was meant to maybe answer some questions from New Religion. I gotta be honest with you, it made me a little confused. It picks up from the scene in New Religion where Aizawa is in Oka's apartment. So the short begins, we see Aizawa again. And it's, I don't know, he's in an apartment he doesn't know. There are other people there. There's a book, it looks like a photo album, and it's just all like these just different various people. It's, in some cases it looks like pictures that have been overexposed, where you have one picture like overlapping another. I don't know. It's another one. It's dreams and nightmares come together, and you know, but it's in the we're going to say the prologue, not the prologue, but like the intro. Like, there's a bit of an intro of the film that where Kondo himself kind of says, "You figure out how you want to see this. You know, it's not my job to tell you, oh, this is what my film is about. You decide for yourself. What does this mean? How does it hit you?" And I like that. I really do. I've always loved that aspect of many Asian horror films, is the ambiguity of it, the just that what's going on, you know, the questions, because it makes you think. You start to think, and you see things, you know, your own way. Anyway, it's a great film. I highly recommend it. Just info's sake, the film, again, it's available on Blu-ray, DVD, and home streaming from Third Window Films. The package includes a 30-minute interview with the director, 30 minutes worth of like behind the scenes footage, some outtakes. There's a full-length director audio commentary. And it includes the regular theatrical trailer and the international theatrical trailer. Runtime is about 100 minutes on New Religion. New Mirrors, I don't think that was even 20 minutes. Maybe 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Anyway, I hope you check out this film. I really, really liked it. You know, it's dark. It's depressing at times. It's heartbreaking. You know, you just, like I said, you just feel so much for Miyabi and what she's gone through and how she's changing as a person. So that's it for now. I will see you again soon, hopefully.